We're
I
good.
am
Oops, sorry.
I'm Lindsay Cardenas with TrueNorth Companies. I handle strategy for senior living organizations. And today I have Joe Hancock. He is the principal and practice leader of the Senior Living Solutions team here at TrueNorth. Joe, I know that you've been having a lot of success recently with a new risk retention group that has joined the market, and I'd like to have you tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks, Lindsay. I agree. Historically, RRGs are formed during hard markets. And as we covered in a previous video, the professional and general liability marketplace was pre-pandemic in an 18-month correction cycle. And really since since April of last year, the pandemic has, forced additional carriers to either exit the marketplace or place moratoriums in writing new business. So, today we'll keep it real short to the point. What we'll cover is really the newest risk retention group, to the marketplace. We'll talk briefly about their coverage forms and the program nuances.
Thank you. And so who is this program available to right now?
So right now, the RRG is starting out in 10 states. They do have plans to expand across the country throughout 2021. Currently, the states that they are in are California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Kentucky, Michigan, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Texas. So as you can see by that list of states, the RRG is writing in some very difficult territories, which is encouraging. And they know in order really to become a relevant player in the marketplace that you're going to need to underwrite in difficult territories. And, I can say from some early on experience that we've already placed, clients successfully with them in Illinois.
Some of the feedback that I've received about the program is that they are seeing rates with 20 to 50% savings on renewals. Does that ring true in your experience?
It has. The example that I was talking about with the risk that I placed in Cook County, which is Illinois, which is one of the toughest venues in the country. The risk retention group came in and beat the incumbent carrier's renewal quote by $115,000, and they also provided the same deductible at $50,000 versus all my other options that including the incumbent that were requiring not only a much higher premium but also a $100,000 deductible, and they were basically claiming the fact that because of the venue they were their minimum deductible was going to be $100,000. So this by far was the best option. And thankfully, I was able to structure a deal where we could match the insured's expiring 2021 program.
What are some of the benefits of this new program?
There's, I'll just be real brief on what I consider like the top 9. What's great about the program is it's reinsured through Lloyd's of London. They did obtain an A rating through Demotech rating, which means it's acceptable through HUD and most banking institutions. They do offer varying deductible programs, so they're not steadfast on just saying that you're gonna, every account's gonna minimally have a $50,000 or $100,000 deductible. They're underwriting risk individually and where it's applicable, and they will write the lower deductibles. For qualifying risks, they do offer a deductible aggregate, which is really unheard of right now in this day and age. Defense costs, options are available to either have it within the limits or outside the limits, and we can in a different video talk a little bit deeper into what that means. The incident sensitive trigger of coverage, huge. That's how the majority of the claims made policies are written out there, and they've continued on with that particular coverage trigger form. Another huge advantage is your choice of defense counsel. They will vet a defense panel with input from the insureds, so they are listening to the defense, the defense relationships that they already have. There's no assessment. This is probably the biggest out of, the ones we're talking about. But what's nice, you don't have to worry about getting, an assessment that, somebody that was participating in the program ended up having, just such adverse losses that now the rest of the members are required to provide additional capital. Another item is premiums can be financed. Historically, risk retention groups, from a premium finance standpoint, they do not like to finance premiums for risk retention groups. With this particular one, there are two very good options for insurance.
Can you talk to me about the deductibles that you're seeing with the program?
Yeah, as I touched on briefly before, we're not seeing any steadfast rules of $100,000 deductibles in difficult territories. The account in Cook County, Illinois, they underwrote it at a 50,000, which was matching what their expiring was. So, right now it's great to see that they are open to underwriting with a wide range of deductible options.
And what kind of limits are available?
Standard is $1 million per occurrence with $3 million aggregate. Our standard limits for risks that have multiple locations, they do offer a per location limit.
And why would somebody want to go this risk retention group path?
Well, historically in hard markets, really hard markets, risk retention groups are very favorable because it's owned by its members. So what that means in English is that they're not answering to stockholders. They're not trying to meet a certain profit margin. It's there to be a claims payment mechanism. And the idea behind that is to lower expense ratios and have enough surplus to satisfy claim applications.
And what would a right fit client for this program look like?
The right fit client is very broad, which is great news, especially for somebody who's in that 1 to 5 location risk. And there's typically, this is a really underserved marketplace, or underserved marketplace, and what we've seen with the razor thin margins that these individual locations are experiencing, as well as the larger, to know that they have an option in a risk retention group that is going to provide these 20 to 50% savings from what's going on, is really encouraging during these very difficult times.
Okay, Joe, thank you. I know that the senior living industry has gone through a lot in this last 12, 14 months so far, and insurance renewals is just a piece of that pie. I think it's just a breath of fresh air that we have someone new joining the marketplace when so many others are leaving. I think what you mentioned about the 20 to 50% savings is huge. I would encourage anyone to reach out and have a conversation, more questions. I know that you do a really great job being available through social media. Is that the best place to reach out to you?
Yes, social media, and from there, myself or somebody from my team will be glad to reach out and discuss strategies.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lindsay.